Hello and welcome to your 9 p.m. daily quiz. I hope all of you are doing good. We are slightly late today, just a few minutes behind the time. But anyways, you'll make it up with the quality of questions. I can assure you that much. Thank you so much for joining in. This is a place where we discuss the important current affairs of the day, but converting these topics into relevant prelim specific questions and then discussing those questions. If you're new here, a couple of things. Do hit the like and the subscribe button. I would really appreciate that personally. Also, if you want to have PDF of all these lectures, you can join my Telegram channel. The link is in the description of the video. I upload all the PDFs on the Telegram channel, and you can also download my Android app, which is called Harshmeet Study Circle. The link is again in the description of the video, where you can check out the other courses that I'm running, the PSIR course, the answer writing course, which is a one-on-one guidance program. You can check all of those out. Now let's begin with the first question on your screen. Consider the following statements with regards to the concept of creamy layer. We are asking this with reference to the Supreme Court landmark judgment. First, the concept of creamy layer arose out of the landmark Indira Sahni ruling in 1994. Second, the creamy layer is not the same as subclassification or subcategorization. Third, the logic of determining the creamy layer was made by an expert committee headed by retired Justice Ram Nandan Prasad, which was constituted following the Indira Sahni judgment. How many of these are correct? Indira Sahni judgment is one of the most landmark judgments with respect to reservation laws in India. This was a judgment as a result of the OBC reservation introduced by the VP Singh government, when it led to huge protest. Looking at the protesters, a journalist in Delhi, Indira Sahni, went to the Supreme Court to challenge this decision of the VP Singh government to introduce OBC reservation. With respect to that, the judgment came in. The first statement is wrong. It was a judgment of 1992 and not 1994. Second is correct. Categorization and subclassification means that amongst, for example, the OBC community also, there will be certain communities that will be more advanced as compared to others. That is called categorization, which is not the same as creamy layer. Creamy layer is specifically based on your economic level. Second is right. Third is also correct. The concept of creamy layer in the OBC category was introduced by a committee headed by retired Justice Ram Nandan Prasad. The answer thus here is B. Two of these are correct. The first statement here is wrong. There are in fact a lot of articles about Supreme Court judgment. There is an article about the creamy layer concept of OBC reservation as well in the Indian Express newspaper. Do read that. It gives you details about who exactly is considered as a part of the creamy layer and thus kept out of the reservation benefits. Next, question number 2. Consider the following statements with respect to sovereign gold bond scheme, also known as SGB. Number 1. The first sovereign gold bond scheme was launched by the government in November 2015 under Gold Monetization Scheme. Second, the maximum limit of subscription shall be 4 kg for individuals, 8 kg for HUF. HUF is Hindu Undivided Family. It is Hindu Undivided Family, and it is 20 kg for trust and similar entities per financial year. Third, the price of sovereign gold bond will be fixed in Indian rupees on the basis of simple average of closing price of gold of 999 purity, published by the Indian Bullion and Jewellers Association Limited. How many of these are correct? Now, the sovereign gold bond scheme was introduced because the government wanted to discourage people from buying physical gold. Now, what has happened is in this year's budget, the government has reduced the import duty on gold. So the fear is now people will be attracted once again to buy physical gold. So this now endangers the future of this scheme, because if physical gold is becoming slightly more affordable, then why would people now go and buy the sovereign gold bonds? That is why it is in the news. With respect to that, the first statement is correct. It was first launched in November 2015. Second is wrong. The limits that have been put is 4 kg for individual and 4 kg only for Hindu Undivided Family as well, and 20 kg for trust. Third is right. The price is fixed on the basis of the average price published by Indian Bullion and Jewellers Association Limited. The answer thus is B. 1 and 3 in this case are correct. The second statement would be wrong because of this 8 kg limit. It has to be 4 kg for Hindu Undivided Family as well. Next is question number 3. By the way, this is based on this article of the Indian Express newspaper. Next is question number 3. Consider the following statements. Number 1. India has planned to create an ambitious 500 gigawatts of non-fossil power by 2030. In around 2 years from 2021 to 2023, India created 23 gigawatts of non-fossil fuel generation. And third, India leads the world in terms of pumped storage. Pumped storage is an important concept which is related to how much energy can be stored when it is being pumped or when it is being made through renewable sources. First and second are correct. This is India's target. We want to add a 500 gigawatts of non-fossil power by 2030. We are not on track to do that. As you can see, we are lagging behind. From 2021 to 2023, we only added about 23 gigawatts. India is not at the top of the world when it comes to pumped storage. It is actually China. China is the one that has a lot more capacity of pumped storage as compared to India. They have been making a lot more use of solar, wind, and other forms of renewable energy. The answer thus is B. First and the second are correct. The third statement is wrong because it would be China. This is an article in the Hindu newspaper about relevance of pumped storage projects. Why is the renewable energy generation subject to these kind of issues? This has been covered in the Hindu newspaper. Do read this article. This is important for India's future prospects. Next, question number 4. Which of the following statements is correct with reference to Zig recently seen in the news? First, it is the most distant known galaxy founded by James Webb Space Telescope. Second, it is one of the rare minerals found in India that are not classified as rare earth but are equally valuable and scarce. Third, an AI tool used for digital recreation of crime scene. Or fourth, it is a new gold-backed currency of an African country. ZIG, Z-I-G. Think about it. The answer here is D. It is a new gold-backed currency of an African country. And which African country are we talking about? Zimbabwe. It is the newly gold-backed currency launched by the African country Zimbabwe. That is why it was in the news a few weeks back. It's not in the news right now. It was in the news a few weeks back. That is why we are discussing this question again so that you can revise. This was an article in the Indian Express newspaper a few weeks back. What Zimbabwe's new gold-backed currency called ZIG. Zimbabwe has been facing a lot of economic troubles and they have been trying to come out of it by various methods. This is one more method that they have tried to stabilize their economy and make it more secure. Next, question number 5. Vivekananda Rock was recently in the news. It is located in Pithoragarh, Ladakh, Kanyakumari or Hyderabad. This was in the news because after the Lok Sabha elections got over, the Prime Minister went to this place to meditate for some time. It was widely covered in the news media. Where is it? It is in Kanyakumari. C is the correct answer. It is famous because it is said that Swami Vivekananda also meditated at this place, and it is after him only this rock has been called as a Vivekananda rock. Kanyakumari is the answer. This was covered in a lot of different newspapers. For example, the Indian Express carried this article about how Vivekananda Rock Memorial is extremely special. This is the same place where Swami Vivekananda also meditated. The Prime Minister went there after the elections was over. To end the session, once again, we have an important quote for the UPSC mains examination purposes. This quote is from Albert Einstein, where he said, "Blind belief in authority is the greatest enemy of truth." Something that you can use in your answer writing as well, with respect to how the people should challenge and question the authority without having blind faith in that. This brings me to the end of the session. Thank you so much for joining. Once again, requesting you to hit the like and the subscribe button. I'll see you tomorrow for the next one. Bye-bye. Jai Hind.